There is a river in the heart of South America that contains more fresh water than any other body of water on the planet. 20% of all the fresh water on Earth flows through here before reaching the ocean. Scientists estimate that there are more species of fish in this river than in the entire Atlantic Ocean. More species of insect in a single hectare of surrounding forest than in all of Europe combined. More species of tree per square kilometer than exist on the entire continent of North America. The Amazon is not just the largest tropical ecosystem on Earth, it is the oldest active river system on the planet. 55 million years of continuous existence. 55 million years of killing, adapting, evolving and selecting. And in all that time, it has never stopped. There is an animal in the Amazon that is not a predator. It does not hunt. It does not kill. It does not compete for food in any conventional sense. And it is the most feared creature by every animal that lives in this river. The most lethal predator in this river has no teeth, no claws, no venom. But it kills more animals per year than the black caiman, the anaconda and the piranha combined. By the end of this documentary, you will understand exactly why. We are going inside the Amazon River, not the forest, not the canopy, the river itself. Where darkness, current and depth determine who survives. Where 55 million years of selection pressure have produced animals so precisely engineered for this environment that they exist nowhere else on Earth. This is the Amazon, and it is trying to kill everything inside it. The Amazon River begins in the Andes of Peru, less than 100 kilometers from the Pacific Ocean, and then it runs in the opposite direction for more than 6,000 kilometers until it reaches the Atlantic. At its mouth, the river pours 300 billion liters of water into the ocean every single hour. So much fresh water that it can be detected 200 kilometers offshore in the middle of the saltwater Atlantic. Ships navigating that stretch of sea draw fresh water from the ocean around them and drink it. But the most extraordinary number about the Amazon is not its length or its volume, it is its width. In the wet season, at certain points along its course, the Amazon is 50 kilometers wide. Standing on one bank, it is physically impossible to see the other side. The opposite shore does not exist in your field of vision. There is only water, and then horizon, and then sky. The Amazon basin covers 40% of South America, 7 countries. The river has more than 1,100 tributaries. 17 of them are longer than 1,000 kilometers. The system extends into the continent like the roots of a tree so large it has no visible trunk. Within that system, 3 completely different worlds exist, stacked on top of each other. The surface, where light still reaches and hunting is visible. The middle depth, where most fish live, suspended between light and darkness. And the bottom, where visibility is zero, pressure increases, and animals evolved over millions of years to hunt without seeing. We descend through all 3. The black caiman is the largest reptile in South America. The largest males reach 6 meters. They weigh more than 400 kilograms. And they have dominated the Amazon River for 80 million years, which is more than double the time the river itself has existed in its current form. The black caiman survived the extinction event that killed the non-avian dinosaurs. It survived the formation of the Amazon basin, every shift in the river's course, and every ecological upheaval that reshaped South America over the past 80 million years. Nearly without change. The black caiman, waiting at the edge of the river tonight, is almost identical to the caiman that waited there 40 million years ago. But the reason the black caiman is the apex predator of this river is not its size. It is something far more precise. The black caiman hunts almost exclusively at night. In complete darkness, the caiman uses pressure receptors distributed across the scales of its jaw and face, so sensitive they can detect the displacement of water caused by a fish swimming more than 2 meters away. Not the fish itself. The wave the fish creates by existing in the water. The caiman does not see its prey. It reads the river like a language, detecting the specific vibrational signature of each species moving nearby. Researchers studying black caimans in controlled darkness found the animal's correctly identified fish species based on movement pattern alone in more than 80% of trials. No vision, no scent, only the information encoded in the disturbance the prey creates by swimming. But what changed how scientists understood the black caiman entirely was what they found when tracking multiple animals simultaneously during the dry season. Caimans cooperate, not in the way wolves cooperate, not with vocalization or visible signaling. During the dry season, when falling water levels concentrate fish into smaller pools, black caimans position themselves around these concentrations in patterns that cannot be explained by individual hunting logic. One animal entering the water drives fish toward a second caiman waiting downstream. The second caiman's movement redirects the fish toward a third animal at the original position. No communication, simply positioning, and the patience to hold that position until the geometry of the trap resolves. A cold-blooded reptile, coordinating a hunt in silence. Fish survival rates in pools surrounded by multiple black caimans are measurably lower than in pools with a single animal or none. But the black caiman is not the most efficient predator in this river. The animal that kills most consistently, at the most depths in the most varied conditions, has never been witnessed hunting by any human being. Because when she hunts, there are no witnesses. The green anaconda is the heaviest snake in the world. The largest verified specimens reach 250 kilograms, heavier than most lions. And in water, that weight becomes something else entirely. In water, 250 kilograms of muscle becomes neutrally buoyant. The effort disappears. What remains is a predator that can move without creating a visible surface disturbance, remain completely motionless for hours with only its nostrils and eyes exposed, and accelerate from absolute stillness to full strike velocity in a movement too fast to follow without high-speed footage. Less than 1 second. From motionless to contact, the anaconda does not pursue prey. The entire hunting strategy of the green anaconda is the elimination of the moment between decision and contact. She removes the space in which prey could respond. By the time a capybara at the river's edge registers that something has changed, the anaconda's teeth are already embedded, and the first coil is already moving. Constriction is not suffocation, as was believed for most of scientific history. Constriction is circulatory arrest. The pressure of the anaconda's coils stops blood from reaching the heart. Cardiac arrest, not asphyxiation, kills the prey, and it happens in seconds. The anaconda's prey selection is precisely calculated. Each hunt consumes enormous energy. The process of constriction, submersion, and digestion of a large prey item can take weeks. An anaconda that kills the wrong prey at the wrong energetic cost can enter a metabolic deficit that compromises every subsequent hunt. This is why anacondas almost never attack healthy adult humans. The preferred prey is the capybara, the world's largest rodent, which can weigh 80 kilograms. There is a documented record of a green anaconda that captured and consumed a black caiman measuring 2.5 meters. The digestion process took 23 days. On the 24th day, she returned to the water. Researchers who study anacondas consistently report the same unsettling experience. The challenge is not finding them. It is the realization, after the fact, that you were in the presence of one for an unknown period of time without knowing it. The anaconda does not announce itself. It exists in the river as an absence of information, which is the most effective camouflage any predator can have. You do not find the anaconda. The anaconda decides whether to reveal itself to you. In the middle depth of the Amazon, where turbid water filters the last light from above, lives an animal that makes no evolutionary sense. The Arapaima, called pirarucu in Brazil. The largest scaled freshwater fish in the world, adult Arapaimas reach 3 meters in length and 250 kilograms, longer than most documented great white sharks. They have existed in the Amazon for 55 million years, unchanged. The Arapaima swimming in the river today is morphologically identical to the Arapaima of the Eocene, and it breathes air, like a mammal. Every 10 to 20 minutes, an Arapaima must surface to breathe through a modified swim bladder that functions as a lung. This is not optional. An Arapaima prevented from surfacing will drown. Every 10 to 20 minutes, the largest freshwater fish in the world is visible. To the caiman at the bank, to the anaconda below, to every predator in the river. Every breathing cycle is a predictable moment of vulnerability, and it has survived 55 million years. The explanation is its armor. Researchers at the University of California, Berkeley subjected Arapaima scales to the bite force of piranhas in controlled conditions. The scales did not fracture. The structure consists of multiple layers of mineralized collagen oriented at alternating angles. In the laboratory trials, the piranha broke its teeth on Arapaima scales. The Arapaima also hunts above the water's surface. An animal of 250 kilograms generates enough thrust to launch more than 1 meter above the surface, where it targets birds resting on low branches and small animals at the water's edge. A 250-kilogram fish hunting birds by jumping out of the river. Now the piranha, the most feared animal in the Amazon, the symbol of danger in these waters. The creature whose image appears on every warning sign at every tourist operation along the river. And almost everything you know about it is wrong. There are more than 60 species of piranha in the Amazon basin. The majority are omnivorous, several are entirely herbivorous. Of the carnivorous species, the most famous, the red-bellied piranha, rarely attacks living healthy animals larger than itself under natural conditions. Its ecological role is not that of an apex predator. It is that of a scavenger. Piranhas are the vultures of the Amazon River. They clean it. Without piranhas, large animal carcasses would decompose over weeks, introducing bacterial load into water systems used by hundreds of species. Piranhas reduce a large carcass to bones in hours. The river remains clean. The cycle continues. The feeding frenzy that created the piranha's global reputation occurs under specific conditions that the natural Amazon rarely provides. High animal density, low food availability, and environmental stress. In the wild river, these conditions are uncommon. In artificial containment, they are easily produced. Theodore Roosevelt witnessed a piranha frenzy in 1914 during a visit to Brazil, and described it in his subsequent book as evidence of the fish's terrifying predatory nature. What he did not know was that fishermen who arranged the demonstration had isolated a section of water, introduced a large number of piranhas, kept them without food for several days, and then released a cow into the enclosed space specifically for the president's observation. What Roosevelt witnessed was a performance. What he published shaped how the world understood piranhas for the next century. In the natural river, the piranha is itself prey. Caimans eat piranhas. Arapaimas eat piranhas. Giant river otters eat piranhas. Tucunares, peacock bass, considerably smaller than adult piranhas, hunt them routinely. Now, the animal I mentioned at the beginning, the one that is not a predator, the one every other animal in this river fears more than the caiman or the anaconda. We have arrived. The boto, the Amazon River dolphin, the only cetacean on Earth that evolved entirely for freshwater existence. It is pink. Its vertebrae, the boto retained as separate mobile joints. It can turn its head 90 degrees in either direction. It can navigate the submerged forest of the flooded Amazon, threading between tree trunks in ways no ocean dolphin's body allows. Its echolocation system can detect a fish 10 centimeters long buried 30 centimeters below the sediment at the river's bottom. There is nowhere in the Amazon River where a fish can hide from a boto, not in the mud, not in submerged vegetation, not in rock formations, not in the flooded forest. The boto knows where you are before it arrives, and when it arrives with certainty. This is why the other animals of the Amazon fear the boto in a way that does not apply to the caiman or the anaconda. Those predators are dangerous, but they can be avoided. Across hundreds of independent riverside communities spread across thousands of kilometers of Amazon River, stories describe the boto as a shapeshifter, an animal that leaves the water at night in human form, appears at village gatherings, and disappears before dawn. The consistency of these stories across communities with no historical contact is something anthropologists have noted and not explained. What scientists have documented separately is that the boto demonstrates social behaviors toward humans that no other large wild animal in the Amazon replicates. Voluntary approach, sustained proximity, what researchers, using careful language, describe as apparent interest in human activity in the water. The boto looks at you as though it is deciding something, and you do not know what it is deciding. Every year, between December and June, the Amazon floods. The river rises on average 12 meters above its dry season level. The forest surrounding the river, for kilometers in every direction, disappears beneath the water. Trees with canopies 15 meters above the ground are submerged completely. The forest becomes a lake, the river becomes a sea. In this flooded forest called Igapo, animals that spent the dry season on land move into the water. Fish that spent the dry season in the river move into the forest. The spatial organization of the ecosystem inverts. The Caiman enters the forest. The Anaconda follows the fish into the trees. The Arapaima navigates between trunks where monkeys watched it from above 6 months before. The flood is not a disaster for the Amazon. The flood is the engine. The river deposits more sediment on its surrounding landscape each year than any other river system on Earth. Without the annual flood, the soils of Amazonia would be among the poorest in the world. With it, they support the most productive terrestrial ecosystem in the biosphere. The flood feeds the forest feeds the river floods the forest. The cycle is 55 million years old, but the flood also kills. When water rises, animals that cannot relocate fast enough drown. Parasites dormant in the sediment become active and spread through the floodplain. Fish populations that were concentrated in river channels during the dry season suddenly have access to an area 20 times larger, diluting food resources per individual. Starvation kills a significant fraction of the fish population every wet season. When the water recedes, the reverse kills again. The flooded forest disappears. The river, at its minimum, concentrates every surviving organism into a fraction of the space they occupied during the flood. This is when the black caiman feeds most heavily. This is when the anaconda waits at the receding water's edge. This is when the Arapaima aggregates in shrinking pools, surfacing to breathe with the predictability that makes it vulnerable, surrounded by predators that the retreating flood has concentrated alongside it. The dry season is when the Amazon shows you what it has selected for, and the most lethal predator in this river is not the animal you came here fearing. It has no teeth, no claws, no venom, no ambush strategy. The most lethal predator in the Amazon River is the river itself. The flood kills more animals per year than every predator in the Amazon basin combined. Not through violence, through transformation. The ones that can remain. The fossil record of Amazonia contains the bones of thousands of species that almost made it, that survived for millions of years in stable conditions and then encountered one season of change they were not prepared for. The black caiman, the Arapaima, the green anaconda, the boto, the piranha. Every animal you have seen in this documentary exists because it passed the Amazon's test. Not once. Every year, for millions of years, without exception. The Amazon did not create these animals by accident. It created them by necessity, by eliminating everything that was almost what it needed, and keeping only what was exactly right. The Amazon is 55 million years old. Today, it loses approximately 10,000 square kilometers of surrounding forest every year. The eastern tributaries are recording flow reductions with no precedent in the hydrological record. The flood, the mechanism that has driven this ecosystem's productivity for 55 million years, is becoming irregular in ways the organisms within it were never shaped to manage. The drought of 2023 killed more than 150 boto in a matter of weeks. Animals whose lineage survived every climatic disruption of the past 20 million years, killed by water temperature, 4 degrees above seasonal average. The Arapaima populations in the upper tributaries are contracting. The flood pulse arrived late in 2022, early in 2024, with distributions that matched no historical precedent in either year. The Amazon has always been a predator. For 55 million years, it was a predator that selected for life. Every organism it killed in the process of producing something more precisely adapted, more resilient, more capable of surviving what came next. What is coming next, the Amazon has not encountered before. And for the first time in 55 million years, the most dangerous thing in the river is not waiting beneath the surface. There is a tributary of the Amazon that riverside communities call the River of the Dead. Not by legend, by experience. The only documented stretch of Amazonian water where multiple apex predator species coexist in sufficient density that interspecies conflict is not rare. It is routine, and in the last 2 decades, a species arrived there that was not there before, that should not be there. And that is changing the balance of predation in ways the monitoring data cannot yet fully explain. That is the next one. Which animal stayed with you? The black caiman that coordinates hunts in silence, the anaconda that removes the moment of warning, the Arapaima that has been here longer than the river itself, the boto that finds you wherever you go. Tell me below. I read every word.